Hey you guys, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mandy, and today I wanted to give you guys a little more of a sneak peek kind of flip through my kids' homeschool planners. I also just kind of wanted to introduce this because I am not using their planners solely. I'm using their planners mainly for them, but also for me to kind of map out what they're going to be doing throughout the school year. And to have them as something to look back on for memories and just informational. We don't have to keep track in our state of everything, but I also really like knowing that I do have that just in case something comes up. So what I was doing these last couple years pretty much is I would pretty consistently give my kids a to-do list of their assignments on a whiteboard. I included in that our lesson time. I included their independent. So I basically, if I can insert it here, I'll put a clip, but just in case I forget. At the top, it basically had, and this is like a whiteboard that I made with like tape on it. And I put like independent, and I put everything that my son would have to do independently. So without me, he would have to go through this list. And then at the bottom, I kind of cut that part in half, or taped, split it in half. And one side was for our lessons, which was kind of a guide for me. And so he knew we had to do those lessons still. And then the other side was something that he had to do like extracurricular. Most of the time it consisted of practice piano, his PE assignment. And it was always like 10 minutes. It wasn't anything like more daunting than that. It was like, practice this. It said each item for 10 minutes, and then I would list them there. So I really liked that system. The only thing is it had to get erased, and I had to, rewrite everything every day. So what I'm going to use the planners for is something similar. I also wanted to say too that I'm still going to be putting things together. I'm going to have a homeschool planner. I actually have just decided on using my coil bound happy planner for my homeschool planner, but that is going to mainly be for me mapping out my lessons, making sure that we're staying on track with where I want to be in the year. Things are going to change, things are going to happen, seasons are going to come and go, and with that, I know that we don't always get to stick to our plan. So I definitely wanted to have a separate planner for that, for me to look back on, as well as me to make random notes, me to put in things that are going on that I don't necessarily need to put in my kids' planners, and to just really pre-plan and look ahead. So we're going to turn the camera around here, and I'm going to show you guys the planners I've chosen are for kinder. Well, for my kinder boy and my 4th grade boy. They're from Not Consumed. So I'm really excited to give you guys a little look. I'm going to do a semi flip through. I'm not going to show you every single page. You can get that on their website, but I am going to show you some things that stood out to me that I'm really excited about as I'm taking you on this journey for planning and homeschool. So let's go ahead and dive into these planners right here. Okay, you guys, so we have the elementary school planner. It is, I can't remember the exact size. I don't know if it says it in here. I want to say it's like 9 by 7 or something like that. Maybe it's more. And then we have the primary school 2 planner. So this is going to be for my kinder. They actually have a 1 or a 2 option, and I chose 2 specifically for him to be able to have options in his day to check off his school. So in his planning day, I will get to that and I'll let you know when I get to that. So the covers are really nice. They're semi-flexible, but they're really nice. Comes with this little pop-out ruler. Has a verse on it. Love that. So we're going to be able to fill in our name and our year. I love that it talks about how to use this book and directs us to pray first. That's really important. So I really love that. And there's these QR codes that we can check out some things. I haven't really done that yet, so I'm not going to say what it really does, but that's what it's supposed to. And some stickers that he can use in his planner. So that's already just really exciting for the kids to see that there's some stickers. So this section is an about me section. Again, I really wanted this more, you know, for us to look back on and to have memories. So he can put his favorites here. He can draw important people. Now there's assessments. So you can scan here for more information about it. If I want to use this, these are assessments. I just like that they're there. We may or may not use them. I mean, our curriculum has that as well. So, but the fact that they're there and I can just do little check-ins with him every now and then. I like that they have for him writing his name and his last name, and then we can end up doing it throughout the year to see how he progresses. There's some comprehension assessments. So I'm not thinking I'm going to be, you know, using these assessments to the T, but I definitely think it's kind of nice that they're in there. I didn't even think about having these types of things in a planner. Something that really stood out to me was the life skills. So just kind of, it's like a good way to see if your child, you know, is doing these things yet. And if you've really just kind of, like me, just kind of continued to do things for them and thought, wow, like, why am I doing that for them? They could probably make their bed on their own or whatever. Then I thought these were really cool. So there's two pages of those. Now we have checklists. So months of the year, and we get into the weekly checklist. So what I really liked about this was it had the daily habits as well as school. The primary one option does not have the school part. And I really wanted him to have the school part so I can write in what he needs to do. I'm used to writing, well, I'm actually, because he's in kinder, I don't really write anything on a whiteboard for him yet. So this is going to work pretty well. I will write what his Bible assignment is for the week, his language, math, and reading, and then there's an extra space. So I'm excited about that. And then every day or every week, there's a fun little thing we can do together to start the week or end the week. I'll figure that out. But, and then I also just like the fact that he can just kind of draw and do something journaling kind of style. And each week seems to go with like a nice little theme of about them, you know, and then it kind of goes into community stuff, which is really cool. So it's basically got like a social studies part to it, which I think is really neat. Let me see. Towards the end here, see, so you're not really sure. You almost have to look to the side, or I might have to tab them. But we do have a field trips, what I enjoyed learning this year, so kind of wrap up the year there. And then we have a field trip section, so if we want to evaluate some of the field trips, he already found this page. He loves maps. So there's a few different pages for that, so we can plan out our field trips and then talk about them and see if they had fun, what if they learned, and did they obey. So I really like that they bring in character study as well. That's a lot of field trip pages as well. And then records. So books I've read this year, lots of sections for that. Media, and that ends the primary school too. So I'm excited to bring that into my kinder's homeschool. And then here is the elementary school. So this is going to be for my 4th grader. It is smaller than the other one. As you can see, the other one is, the pages are about 8.5 by 11. Might be bigger. They seem bigger. Okay, so there are some stickers here. And then these ones actually do have tabs, which I really like. The planning portion is more of the About Me section, kind of annual goals, semester goals, habits to work on, year at a glance, which is blank. That's actually really nice, so we can look at plan out our lessons maybe. So as you can see, a lot of different things to go over. We have an attendance record if I need to. I don't see me using every single page, but the calendar section is definitely something I think we're going to be using on the daily. So we have this before the month, a habit I want to focus on, and things I'm praying for. I love that. He can fill in his monthly, and here's his weekly. So I'm really excited that the weeklies have a space for their name and the week and a verse if they would like to just read it or try to memorize it for the week. We have a section for what was going on for the days, which is really useful, I think, for them to know. Like, for example, if he has piano one day, if he has a baseball game. And then here's a section for the subject, and then each day and a star for them to either check it off or me to check it off once it's finished. I'm not sure how we'll go about doing that, but each day I plan on writing in what he has to do for that particular subject. So I usually do that the night before or the morning of. I will open this up, go through his curriculum, set it all out, and I will do a video on this eventually when we start school. So, but I will set it all out. And then, for example, if this is math, I will write what he needs to do for math. I might even have a second math because we do lesson. I might have like math lesson and like math facts here. And so I like that it has quite a bit of space for me to do that, because this is pretty much going to be his independent section. As I mentioned of how I used the whiteboard before, this is going to be his independent stuff. I may or may not be able to add like PE and stuff like that down here. We'll just see how far that goes. I will have a social studies or science history section. I'm not sure if I'll spread it out, but typically there's something that he'll have to be working on for that. So I think it's enough subjects, enough subject lines, and then I will just go ahead and make it work. So each day he can work on that item, and then the next day will not be filled in until he's completed that day and we move on. So at the end here, it says, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, Colossians 3:23. I love that verse for our homeschool, and it just so happened to be in these planners. So I really, really love that. And down here, I love that it incorporated habits, because that is something that we're working on as well. Personal care without being reminded, pretty much. And practicing piano, so I was actually putting that up here, and now I don't have to. Having his specific chores, and then there's, or chores in general, but there's 2 areas that I can actually write something specific, and I'm really, really excited about that. And then over here, it's what, how did I do? And it's more for a self-evaluation. So did what I was asked to do. He gets to fill in his stars. Did my best work, worked without being asked, which I love that, worked without being asked, showed respect for authority, showed brotherly love and affection, showed Christian attitude and behavior. I'm really excited about this section. And then I can actually go through and, you know, do that as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but I can go through and go over that with him, which is really cool. So there are tons of these pages, and then each month is separated by like a cardboard piece, which is nice. So as you can see, lots of different ones. And then as we get through that, let's see, I think his has an end of the year, or is that the end of the month? Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's at the end of the month, a reflection. Next, we have a field trip tab. So another kind of similar to my Kinders, but field trip evaluation, places we visited, draw or write something we learned, and what did we think about it. So there's a few of those. I don't know, about 5 or 6, maybe 7. Records, books I've read. So I'm excited to start filling this out for him, so that way he can know kind of some books that I'm probably going to assign some. I might use one of the page as assigned books, and then the other pages can be what he's reading for fun. Let's see here. media logs, academic record, so an attendance record if we wanted to do that. And then he also has life skills here too, which I love because what I can do is pull from these if I can't think of something that he maybe needs to start working on. And this says 2nd grade / 7 through 8 years old. This page, same thing, but then this page is for 3rd grade, 8 to 9 years old. Same for that. And then we go into his grade level, 4th grade, 9 to 10 years old. However, obviously, oh, and there's 5th grade, but obviously you can do these at your own pace. I think it's just a suggestion, but I really, really liked that this was here. Even if it's not for him, it's for me to go ahead and be like, okay, like, I think he could clean the bathroom toilet now, you know, and that kind of outlook. We have year-end review and a nice little section with pockets. So if he needs to stick anything in here, or I need to keep something in here for him to refer to, maybe a spelling list or something, I don't know. And that is the elementary school planner for my 4th grade son. So these are the planners I'm using with my kiddos. It is going to take place of the whiteboard that we would have. It's going to help take place of my own lesson planner that was pretty much more for my kids, not for me. It is also going to help with activities and things that we're doing. So I would love to continue to give you an update on these as we go throughout the school year. So let me know if you are interested in seeing those updates and curious how we do these. I also want to know if any of you guys are using these as well, or if you've seen anyone else using them, because I haven't really seen too much about them, but I also haven't done a ton of research on that end. I did a lot of research figuring out what these looked like before buying them and all of that. But these are from Not Consumed. We also do some of their Bible studies. I really like them. The kids really like the Bible studies. So let me know your thoughts and hit the like button if you wouldn't mind helping me out before you go. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed day. Bye, guys.